Hi, it's John Hoffs, and I'm ready to give a formal review of Badlands 1973, directed by Terrence Malick, starring Martin Sheen, Sissy Spacek, and Warren Oates. The movie is loosely based on the Starkweather spree killings of the late 50s, but it's a fictionalized version. The movie takes place in its beginning in a very small South Dakota town. Sissy Spacek, who plays a 15-year-old high school student, narrates the movie. She immediately divulges that her and her father were from Texas and they had moved up to South Dakota in a rather random manner. The father, played by Warren Oates, although a very small part, is unforgettable, partly because of his occupation, which is that of a billboard sign painter. Back in the 50s and earlier, probably a great deal of the billboards across the nation were not commercially printed and obviously not electronic as some of them are now, but people would actually be highly skilled painters who would paint the billboards for local businesses. So we see the Warren Oates character painting like a true artist on the prairie. Well, we also see that Martin Sheen is working as a garbage man, and that's how he comes to spot Sissy Spacek, who's 10 years his junior. He's 25. He has a rebellious spirit. He kind of walks off the job when he feels like it rather than when it's quitting time, and so he loses that job, and he's really not skilled to do hardly anything. So at some point in the movie he describes himself as a criminal, and that he does what criminals do, which includes killing people. And sadly, but it's the heart of the story, he gets together with Sissy Spacek. They become a couple. She loses her virginity to him, which is very tastefully done in the movie. And he kills her father, because the father is, again, the authority that is stepping in the way of his freedom. So much does he want to possess the Sissy Spacek character that he kills her father and takes her with him on what turns out to be a heinous murder spree. The film is very highly romanticized, despite its dark and depraved subject matter. It's quite graphic in its killings, the depiction of its killings, but the starkly beautiful landscape of the Dakotas, Nebraska, because what they do is they run away and they drive west, hoping to reach the mountains of Montana, but they never get there. Sooner or later they're apprehended, and the Sheen character is basking in the glory of all the attention from the press. He becomes almost some kind of criminal guru to his fans. Even seems like he has fans. He has their respect. He even has law enforcement's respect, which is another sort of disconcerting element of the story, illustrating the whole idea of good guys and bad guys not being relevant in the world of Terrence Malick, I would say, who wrote it, produced it, directed it. He may not have produced it. I think Edward Pressman, who's a great producer, did like Casino Royale and What's New Pussycat and all those late 60s movies that were so fun. He's one of the producers. I highly recommend it. It takes place in 1959, so it has wonderful period details that I love. All of the elements that come to represent Malick's later work can be seen in this movie. The voiceover, the lyrical views of nature, the sort of intermingling of good and evil, which as he addresses in later films. There's really nothing bad I can say about it. So with that, I will bid you adieu and arrivederci and all those sayings. Adios.